going on, everybody? So I wanted to fill you in a little bit more on what's been going on with the book. This is my third video, so yes, I've still been in the same room in the same clothes, but actually it's been leading up to this because over the last few weeks, I've been putting more and more work into trying to get the book actually self-published. So that's kind of like a recap. My book is called Health. The subtitle is Decluttering the Natural Health Industry and Rethinking Chronic Disease. So essentially it links inflammation, sugar, and stress, sugar being like energy metabolism, with chronic disease. And I use cholesterol as a focal point, a way of explaining it through cholesterol, which I think is super important. And basically I share the best of what I know, the very best tools that I think naturopathic doctors use. The very best, I share some really good tips in terms of how to save money if you're looking to see a naturopathic doctor. I share the very best in terms of being a more savvy health enthusiast, but also a shopper, a buyer. So revealing all the buying trends and making you more savvy when it comes to purchasing any natural health products, and even just more savvy in terms of anything natural health related for that cocktail party, or one of your colleagues who's like the know-it-all health enthusiast purist. I think by the time you finish this book, you're gonna know what's up. So that's kind of my pledge to you. It's literally the best that I have. It's edited as best as I could, but it's not going to be perfect. Structurally and grammatically, it will have errors, but I'm okay with that. If you are, actually, I'm okay with it even if you're not. If you're not, then just pass it on to somebody else, because I think you just need to see the value in it. I can't sell the unsellable, as the quote goes. That's Gary Vaynerchuk, by the way. I can't sell the unsellable. I can't do it. Can't do it. So I wanted to share a little bit about, there's my Canadian accent coming in, I wanted to share a little bit about the process in creating a cover design. It's really frustrating. I realized the major frustration in creating the cover design, let me just come a little bit closer to the mic, is because I get overly romantic. I'm a romantic, I'm a fighter, not a lover. And I'm romantic about it. It's my first book. I've put in a lot of work. I want it to be perfect. I don't want it to look like a self-published cover. I want it to look more professional. But at the end of the day, if you want that, you have to fork out the cash. So what do you do? What kind of decisions do you make? How do you want it? How do you envision the cover to look? I get overly romantic about it. And so what that ends up doing for me is that I don't actually want to commit to anything. So it's hard to just say, go and move on and forget about it. And that's a mistake. And I've realized that now. So now I've made some decisions. I've done the best that I could and then just moved on. And you're never going to be 100% happy with everything. So I am happy. It looks pretty cool. And maybe there'll just be more renditions of the cover in the future. I mean, in the same way that there might be more renditions of the book itself. But at the end of the day, I have to get this value out there. So it's been pretty crazy. I mean, the cover, I found one guy on Instagram. So one of the books, there's a few books that I really love the covers of. And one of the books is called, there's a few of them. There's Anti-Cancer, which is a great book. I have some on my, actually, you can just see the books on the shelf. I don't need to go through them, but looking at my reading list, I've seen a bunch of book covers where they look more professional. They have that professional feel to it. Whereas when you go to places like Fiverr, or if you just go online and you see self-published books, they look self-published. They don't look like, especially in nonfiction, they don't look, fiction, when it's fantasy and so forth, they look like artistry. They look very much like paintings on the cover. They take up the whole space. As opposed to nonfiction, you see a lot of white space. It's just very kind of delicate. It's clean. It's professional looking, not sterile, but just very clean. Not too busy is what I mean. But those covers are very expensive. I approached one cover designer. They've done a cover of a book that I really like. I contacted them, and they're charging between $1,000 and $3,000 US for the cover design, depending on what you want, just for the cover design alone. Another guy that I found on Instagram does amazing covers. I want to show you some of these covers actually, because I think he did a really cool job. I'll show you kind of like what I was looking at. Like this. It's probably backwards, but whatever. You can see it's not a ton of white space, right? And then this one, hold on, let me show you this one too. Really cool. You can kind of see it. There you go. It's much better like that, right? So see, it doesn't take up the whole space. So anyway, I like that. But this guy was charging 5,000 euros. Wait, 5,000? I think it was 500 pounds. Sorry, I can't remember. 500 or 5,000 pounds. Either way, even 500 pounds. That's a ton for me just for the cover. It's over $1,000 just for the cover in Canadian dollars. So, and again, I don't have an audience yet. I have no idea how I'm going to sell this book. I mean, yeah, there's some hacks here and there. You know, obviously I'm going to try and use you as best as I can to try and get it out there. And I'll have to just learn. I'm going to just have to spend, you know, tens and tens of hours trying to learn a little bit more about the marketing as best as I can. And then trying to reach out to people. That's really, that's, I think, trying to maybe offer them. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. But I'm definitely open for feedback. And I know it's going to take some time. Like with anything good in life, it just takes a ton of effort, a ton of hard work. That's okay. I enjoy it. So that's kind of it. And I've gone through this process and I'm just overly romantic about the title. My title, I went through, oh gosh, I must have driven the artist crazy, just absolutely crazy. And it's really my fault because trying to make decisions or trying to figure out what feels right and what doesn't and how to make it more professional and how not. And then I'll ask other people for feedback and they'll give me some feedback, you know, the font's not good enough or this and that doesn't look right. But at the end of the day, you know, I think you can't spend, you can't take too much time on it. At the end of the day, it is the cover. Yes, it's important. Yes, people judge a book by its cover. Yes. But you got to move on. You just got to make a decision and move on and just continue to do the other work because that's one small piece. It's an at-bat, but so is networking with 1,000 people. You know, each one of those is an at-bat. And so is this video putting it on YouTube. That's an at-bat. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. So I have to focus more on the other things in terms of trying to get the book just done, as it's a real goal of mine. I want to get it done out there and then start learning more of the marketing and so forth. But that's it. So in fact, I wonder maybe if I should share this with you. Here's the cover that I'm going with. The first cover was this. And yeah, I used Fiverr. This was kind of my cover at first, like this. Okay. Which I think actually looks pretty cool. It does. It looks really cool. But at the same time, it looks more like a cookbook. And my book is not a cookbook. So it's a book on health. It's a narrative style book for the layperson, connecting inflammation, sugar, and stress with chronic disease and using cholesterol as a focal point. So I kind of wanted to illustrate that a little bit more cleaner, maybe not as imagery-ish. So I just went through so many different renditions. The going cover is now going to look like this. Oh, and I had to do other things too. Like I wanted to put this molecule on there. Anybody know what this molecule is? I'll let you guess. So I wanted to put that. I had to get that recreated. Just a whole bunch of work. Here, I'm looking at some other things I needed to do. Here was one cover that I thought was really cool. But again, then I didn't really like that thing. I don't even know what that is. Some kind of holder, a plate. I don't know. These images kind of like in a chalk. It's like a squash and a pear. That looks super cool. I like that, but maybe is not kind of my go-to nutrient-dense whole food. I wanted something more that could relate to maybe some of the videos that I've produced in terms of making smoothies and green juices and real just nutrient-dense whole foods that I sort of like symbolize kind of what I view some of the best within natural medicine or within health, I should say. So those are some of the cool ideas that I've looked at. Here was like one of the back. I'll show you. I love, here, hold on one second. Like that, right? I love the back. Like I love how my face is on there. That's pretty cool. But some people didn't like that I was in a t-shirt. Some people didn't like the fact that there was American Eagle written on it. I like it because I just think I look really good in that shirt. I really do. And I, just for my own ego to have it on there. But yeah, I don't know. Still, the ultimate image I used was really just on the About the Author section inside, which I'm still in a t-shirt. That's just where I'm most comfortable. I wanted to show kind of this character that you're seeing now, which is me, just simple, not, too conservative or whatever. So there's that. And you know what, for the final cover, I think what I'm going to do is wait I'm going to wait to share that one with you guys, because I might still do another. I still need to add the ISBN number to it, so I'll be contacting the artist. But anyway, she did a wonderful job. We went back and forth so many different times, and I drove her crazy. And each time she just, was amazing working with me, and she was patient. And so I'm just grateful for it. I'm grateful to have a really cool cover, and moving on. I just want to move on. I want to move on now, and I have to focus on other things. So one of the things I'm working on now is the formatting and what else? Formatting, that, and what's an area? Oh yeah, by the way, the cover still costed me, it's still a pretty penny. Like it cost me over $100 US. So Canadian, it's not nothing. I still, if I don't sell any copies of this book, I still lose out. So it's just like a pet project. What else? I had to pay for the, can't remember what else I just did. I also spent the images. I had to redo some of the images. So check this out. Yeah. I don't even have it on my phone. But anyway, you'll see. I'll start showing you some of the images. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can. Here's the image of the cholesterol now. You can see it's more like chalky. So I got that recreated. And then here, I'll show you the other one. This. See all these? So those, you can see like the colors on them. These were images that I've taken from studies. I had like just the black and white kind of images right from the study. So I got the guy to, or girl, actually, I don't really know. I think it's a woman actually. But just very gracious, very patient with me. I also had renditions of it. I had to get them redone. Frustrating, like you don't really know what direction to go in. It still costs, this one also cost about, I can't remember, it's like 150 US, whatever it was in US. So it was something around that. So in Canadian, it's still quite a lot of money. And, now publishers might say, well, that's nothing, buddy. I spent I got quotes by 2 editors myself too. So I know in terms of, let's say, really publishing, thousands of copies of physical printouts, it can cost like 25,000 US. I was quoted by 2 editors on that. And then another one, just the editing alone was between like 5 and 7 US. So, and the other might be less expensive. So I get it, trust me. But still, when you have no audience and you don't really have a way to sell it, even a few $100s on a book it's still a lot of money. I don't know how I'm going to get that back. I have to justify the spend somehow, and then market and whatever else I'm going to be doing with it. But I just thought that was really cool. So I recreated the images. I'm still giving complete references to the originals. I've reached out to the authors to request permission as well. And already a lot of them have responded very positively, which is so cool. People all over the world, actually. So anyway, that's some of the work that I'm doing. And I'm going to be working on the formatting now. That's also costing money, but I think it's well worth it. It'll make the book look much better. And then I'll look into putting it on CreateSpace and Apple, which I know nothing about, by the way, yet. So that's another thing I need to do, and I'll start to document that a little bit. So wishing you a wonderful rest of the week, and please comment. Let me know your feedback, any advice, any feedback you have. I'd love for you guys to review it. If you're open to seeing the book later, it'll be about $1, and I would love an honest review to help me kickstart this thing. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.